after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am your host. I am Stephanie Hockenhall. Joining me is my son, my co-host, Gene Williams.
Good day, mate. Top of the morning to ya.
It ain't morning,
Rising
it's
shine.
evening.
Top of the evening to you. I don't know how to say it. Evening. Top of the evening. 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 Gotta curve it. Evening.
Thank you for joining us on Where is the Love? We have some good things coming to you. We have been talking about some very strong subjects: bullying, gaslighting, narcissism. Now we are bringing on this show, we are bringing some healing tips. We're going to help you get healed. We're going to give you the tips, the tools to get healed from those behaviors and those environments, toxic environments. So listen, if you are watching us, you are either watching us on our YouTube channel. We are live right now on TV, on Roku and Amazon Fire. All you have to do is search Pod TV. So it's POD TV space LIVE, and you can watch us live right now on TV. Otherwise, you should be watching us on our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute or Premier Fitness 0210. You can go back to those anytime and watch us, watch the replay. So we're also on LinkedIn under Stephanie Hockenhall. We're on my Facebook page, Stephanie Terrell Hockenhall, and Love Misunderstood Institute Facebook page. So you can be watching us on all of those things. And the main thing to remember is you can go to our YouTube channels at any time. But we're live on all of these right now. So we're happy to be bringing some. You want to do the recap, and then we'll get started.
All right. So on episode 107, like, can y'all fathom that? We shared types of gaslighting with examples, education tips, explanations, tips for education and activities to help you navigate through the specific type of gaslighting.
Yes. And so now we are going to give you steps to heal a wounded heart. Listen, our hearts have been wounded and continue to get wounded over and over and over again. It is a part of life. So the thing is learning how to navigate through those challenging times. And so that's what this show is about. Because it's tough. We know it. It's rough. It ain't
Hallelujah.
fun. And
Sometimes
we don't like
it gets ugly.
real
Sometimes it gets sad. Sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes you don't know what you're going through. Anyway.
That's our musician. By the way, him and his band does our intro, Where is the Love? So singing is in him, so he might just start singing while he's talking. So
you never know.
Just know that's a part of him. But listen, like I said, we've had some rough things going on, and so is everybody else. I mean, it's a part of life. But we're going to get through those things, and we are going to help you and give you some tips on getting through it. You can get on down through there. Believe it. You can.
Right.
So you want to start or you want me to start? I'm hyped.
Well, I was going to say, first thing is, like you said, this is part of the journey.
Yes.
And the question is always, are you going to take this? Like there's a popular colloquialism is like, you take, instead of taking L's as losses, you take it as lessons. And
Mhm.
that's actually a powerful position to put yourself in. Realize that it's not a loss. You didn't lose. You learned a lot. Just be aware, be awake in the moment,
Yes.
and realize, okay, so this is what I didn't recognize on the front end. So now this is a lesson I can go back to and be like, you know what? So last time I didn't pay attention to that part. So now I have that knowledge. I can apply that to the next application of what I do. And that's what you do. Life is trial and error. Life is
Yep.
like a scientific experiment. I like to think of it like that. Life is like a scientific experiment.
Yeah.
You try one thing, you know, you know certain variables, and you but it didn't work completely. It's like this part worked, but that part didn't. So
Yep.
what can I do more on this end? So I
Yep.
did this. Let's keep that. That worked. But
Yep. That's
let me apply this. Maybe more prayer, maybe more, maybe more meditation, maybe more detachment or whatever. Like it's always there's more that you could have given, but you didn't know. So now that you have the muscle memory to at least do this foundational aspect of it all, then you have a basis to move forward uh, with the next application of the knowledge that you have in a situation that you've dealt with. So man, life is like to me, it's like a scientific experiment. As crazy as that may sound.
no. It doesn't sound crazy because it it is like they say. It is what it is. I mean, things happen. What we gonna do with it? Negative things happen. What
Right,
we gonna do with it? Positive things
right,
happen with it. Happen.
right,
What we gonna do with it?
right. You
So
take the
you can't
information.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Not, I interrupted. Go
So
ahead.
negative things, when negative things happen, we have to figure out how to keep going.
Right,
If you don't, you're gonna stay down. So you get down, but you don't stay down. How can I get back up? So
mm,
whatever it takes, and there's so many things and ways you can get back up.
yeah,
Um, but let's get started here because there's so much um, to share. And
right,
I have a few things that I want to share as well, and I know you do too. So, the first step to healing a wounded heart is to acknowledge the pain,
yes,
accept that your hurt is valid, and give yourself permission to feel.
yes,
It's okay.
yep,
Give yourself permission to feel whatever it is you feel.
right,
You want to
right.
add something?
Yeah, like in society, like this current society with social media and all the its advents or layers or whatever, it's like it teaches you to be more about like end result based. And really it's like you need to, if you're gonna be a person who evolves from an experience, you need to be able to process what you've experienced. Like if you don't have the ability to process and constructively, because we can process it destructively and create like protection systems for ourselves that end up messing us up more, or we can kind of step back from things, consciously and realize that okay, this was a lesson, even though it felt personal, and even though they did it to me. That's been my biggest thing over the last 4 years. And even though it's happened to me personally, like what is this person's story who did it to me? And that's yeah, that's a big thing right there. Like
That is
we all have our stories. Yeah. We all have our stories. We all have been through some crap. So it's like the hugest thing is like realizing that we all have our stuff
yes,
and giving each other grace, and mercy. Like we did, but it's like I did this, but did I make a change? And those people who continuously do the same things over and over again, then okay, they're not on the path of healing.
Yes.
They're on a vicious cycle of repeating the same things and eventually being absolutely miserable and lonely.
Yep.
But those who realize what they have gone through, how they contributed to it, that's a big thing. You have to realize that we all have contributed to our own misery
Yep.
in one way or another.
Yep.
Um, and when you acknowledge the fact that not only you're in pain, but also how you contributed to it, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Personal responsibility, personal responsibility for how we created our own reality.
Yep.
We already feel that stuff on the inside. And because we feel that, we create that, we replicate it outwardly. As above, so below, as within, so without. Whatever you believe in your mind to be true, you create it outside of you.
Yeah.
So, you know, just dealing with that is a huge thing. That's a
Yeah.
huge step right there.
Yeah. And I appreciate you sharing that information. Um, Taking things personal is a really tough thing. Like
Right,
you said, and knowing that everybody else, just like us, they have issues too.
right.
Everybody got junk. Everybody
Yep.
got stuff. Everybody got baggage. So Mark said, "Can I cry? Can I bawl like a baby?" Of course. Feel what you
Yes,
feel.
absolutely. Yes. I
And
mean, and
then,
truly to get it off you, like ball, like literally allow yourself to just break all the way down,
yep,
like dissolve into nothingness, and then realize like there's a lesson to this.
yes,
You went through this for a reason.
yep,
Nothing happens for no reason. Everything
exactly.
has a purpose.
Yep,
Nothing in the world, nothing with the ultimate all is wasted. Everything has a purpose.
right.
And when we realize that, then it's like, okay, I went through this and I wanted to give up, but I'm still here. I'm
Yep,
still here and I'm here for a reason.
yes.
Everything has a purpose. Nothing is wasted in the universe.
Nothing.
So, not one thing.
Yep,
Everything has its purpose. So, when we get to that part and realize that like we are multi-leveled, multi-dimensional, um, man, like then it gives us more power. Like we're
yeah,
not supposed to be like feeling weak. We're supposed to always feel powerful.
yeah,
Let's all yeah. We are a reflection of the infinite all. So we are creators. I mean, we do it. Like look at this podcast. You created it with your mind and
yeah.
it manifested. And now we're at 108 episodes. That's what I'm saying.
Woo!
So man,
Yep,
acknowledge yourself as a creator within the grander creator.
yeah.
And man, you know,
So Mark also said not being the hamster on the wheel, going on the circle or
right,
tilting at the windmill. Exactly. You keep going through those same cycles, you're gonna keep getting the
right,
same thing.
same
Uh,
things.
yeah.
Insanity,
So you want to see
insanity.
something different, you got to do
Gotta
something
do
different.
something.
Yeah.
We
Go ahead.
we have a song coming up very soon that actually speaks to that directly. So just get ready for it.
All right, G Wiz in the solar system. Do
I,
what
I, I,
you do.
I, I. We funky too. We funky too. Don't get it twisted. We funky too.
So I want to share a story. I know we haven't shared much on healing yet. We're going to get to that. So, um, okay. So this next one is identify core wounds, and I'm going to share it after this because it goes right with what I'm getting ready to share. So
Okay.
identify core wounds. Reflect on the recurring themes of your pain: rejection, abandonment, betrayal. Those are
Yeah.
examples. So listen, I had to identify a core, the core, a core wound today. I
Mm,
didn't want to, but I decided, made a decision. I went to a conference Friday and Saturday, and so the conference was talking about healing.
yeah.
And so I also um, purchased a book, Understanding the Wounded Heart. It
Mm,
is by Marcus Warner, Dr. Marcus Warner. He wrote this book and many books, and he's a pastor. And so he was sharing a lot of stuff. And I was like, man, that's the thing I have to do is start addressing my wounds and not
yeah.
just letting them go. I'm miserable and I'm unhappy. This is not the way I want things to go. So, what do I need to do to start understanding and addressing my wounds? So, here's what happened. On Saturday, well, I made a decision in the last week or so. It's been pretty close to 2 weeks. It's been over a week that I made a decision. I was helping somebody and I decided, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore because it brought me a lot of stress. Listen, we choose whether we want to keep what we're getting or lose it. I don't want
Right.
the stress. I made the decision. I don't want the stress. I don't need it. So listen, I had created a boundary when I decided I don't want the stress. I don't have to have this. This is not a part of what I need to help me grow. So I let it be known on Saturday, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to help in this way anymore. And
Mm,
when I said that, I heard tears. I was on the phone. And so I heard tears. Well, I didn't hear the tears, I heard the crying. And I was like,
mm,
that's not going to move me. That's an emotional bully. That doesn't move me.
mhm.
You already did something to get me to this point, and I don't have to continue giving what I'm giving. I have a choice in this too. And the stress that
Right.
it has caused me, I didn't say all this, I'm telling y'all this, but the
Yeah.
stress that it has caused me has made me say, no, I don't want this. This is my
Right.
boundary. This is what you're doing. I told you don't do it. I told you I don't like it, and you continue to do it. So I have a
Hey.
say in this for me.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I say no. And I'm not taking that anymore.
Love it.
So
Love it.
as a result of letting that out yesterday and letting it be known, and hearing, the crying, then I just said, I'll talk to you later. And then a few hours later, I got a call from somebody else to convince me. I already know what the call was for, to convince to go ahead
Yeah.
and help this person. Well, this
Mm,
person that was calling to convince me to do what I had already made a decision I don't want to do was a part of that stress. I can't allow
oh,
you in either. I
right.
don't want any more of that.
Yep.
So this is what happened today. I got a call from that same person again yesterday, the one that called to convince me to do what I
Right.
had already changed my mind not to do. So this is
Mhm.
two different people. So when I saw the call come in today, I said, no, I can't do it. So I didn't answer the phone. So after that, I started thinking about what I had done. I started thinking about the decision I had made and how it made me feel, the reason I came to that decision, and the reason why I need to stick to that decision.
Right.
And so I was working out, and actually, what I was doing was putting the content for this show together and creating a journal. So I was at the point of creating the journal from this show, from the content of the show. So when I just kept working, and about 20 minutes later, I thought about that person that was calling to change my mind. And my heart started beating. I noticed my heart rate increased. So I
Mm,
realized, okay, I'm anxious. Why am I feeling this way? Okay,
right.
remember I just said Friday and Saturday, I attended a conference talking about healing and talking about the
Hmm.
wounded heart. So
Right.
what happened is about 20 minutes later, when my heart rate increased, I realized I'm anxious. This
Right.
has me anxious,
Right.
and I don't have to feel anxious,
Right.
but I do have to acknowledge that I am
Right.
fearful.
First and foremost. Yeah. Right.
I am stressed out.
Hey.
This person got me scared,
Right.
but I'm still not going to change my mind.
Right.
But why am I
Right.
feeling this anxiety?
Hmm.
This goes
Yeah.
deeper than this moment.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
When I
Hey.
realized this
Come
is
on
not,
now.
huh? When I realized
I said,
that
come on now. Come on now.
this is not just for this moment, this goes back. I avoided
Yep.
that phone call. Why?
Yep.
Because that's my habit. That
Hmm.
is something that I have always done to avoid arguments, to avoid you getting to me to hurt me more.
Right.
So I have, what is it called? I realized that I had avoidance. I can't even think of what it is now, but that's what I've always tended to do. I can't let you hurt me no more, so I have to avoid you altogether. So I realized that's
Right.
what I was doing.
Right.
And
I mean, boundaries is the best way
yeah,
I could say it. Boundaries. Yeah.
yeah. And so avoidance behavior is also a part of what was taking place there. And
Yeah.
but it's always been a thing for me to keep, like I said, to keep from arguing, to guard myself, to keep you from hurting me. And so what I did is I found myself going deeper than that and going into what caused this, what causes this, the different kinds of, it just started replaying in my mind different
Yeah.
relationships where I've done that, whether friendships, working, family, different relationships where I've done that and,
Yeah.
created this avoidance behavior.
Right.
And then I had to go and really deal with it. So, of course, I
Yeah.
had tears um, because I don't want to be like that. So we have to be able to address our issues and not
Yeah.
run from them. And guess
Right.
what? I realized that was a giant for me.
Yeah.
It was like a David. I mean, a
Yeah.
Goliath.
Goliath. Right. And
Yes.
you and
And
David.
so
Yeah.
I had to become David and
Right.
deal with the
The
situation.
slingshot.
You gonna kill me, right?
Right.
You gonna kill
It's either
me,
me or you. It's either
right?
me or you. I'm the master. I'm the master, not you. I'm the master. You're not my master. Don't tell me what to do.
So anyway, I wanted to share that, and I won't take up any more time sharing that. But what the whole point of what I was saying is, when issues arise, when we realize that something has us in a position that we don't want to be in, we have to deal with it. We have to address the issues. We have to acknowledge the pain. We have to identify the core wound, and that's what I was doing. And so,
Yeah.
Gene, if you want to do the next one,
Well, actually, I want to kind of add on to what you just said.
okay.
So, today is my 15-year-old daughter. It's her birthday. Um, Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to be around her because she doesn't want me there, and the narrative has been created to fortify that. So, I mean, I did text her, tell her happy birthday. She said thank you eventually. Um, but one of the hardest things is for me, I realized like feeling unwanted in this particular situation, like, dealing with the stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. Almost said it. I was like,
That's your
oh, wait,
stuff.
this shizzle. But yeah, like, man, I miss my children. I really do. Like, I think about them every day at some point, and like literally, there's no let up. Uh, I think about them every day. You look at a commercial, you hear a song, you know what I mean? Just anyway, it's always I'm thinking about them. And the first thing is again going back to the initial step to heal your wounded heart is to acknowledge the pain. Like I miss my children more than I could ever express in any one particular moment. Um, and the core wound is again feeling wanted or feeling unwanted, in particular, um, and rejection. I guess, yeah. So yeah, looking at it, abandonment, betrayal, yeah, all of that, all of that bundled into one, all of that bundled into one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those things are
But
going to have to be dealt with separately. But go
yeah, for
ahead.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. No, no, like I mean, in all of life's like issues, you have to break down and compartmentalize. Like I've been talking to Danica about that. Like sometimes I have to take like aspect of certain situations and like step back and then pull it like pull this particular situation out and then look at it and examine it and then like come to terms with that particular thing, then put
Mm,
it back and realize how all of that particular thing you find the foundation of it all. You have to find the foundation of the issue, pull it out and examine the issue, and then
yep.
put it back and realize that a lot of the other things that have transpired are symptoms of the
Yeah.
initial issue.
Yes.
And even with like as it pertains to physical health, like the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies. Like, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna leave it alone real quick. I say this all the time, but like the doctors, because they get paid extra by taking um, certain, financial blessings and investments or whatever you want to call it from doctors to prescribe medicine that they know is not going to heal the patient. They do it all the time. That's how they make their money. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, um, and that's why I don't take medicine for the most part. But like that's the thing. Uh, ultimately, you have to do the work yourself. You have to figure out what's wrong, how is it affecting me, and then like find a way to connect yourself to the tools that will help you like create a foundation for your healing if you're really down for healing because
Yeah.
healing takes work. It is
Yes.
not easy. You don't wake up and I'm healed.
Yeah.
It takes constant effort,
Yep.
consistent, conscious effort every single day to recognize your uh, your triggers, your your overall trauma and what you've dealt with, and then identifying that. So again, the first thing is acknowledging the pain. The
Yep.
pain is a symptom of the trauma that you've experienced.
Yep.
Then identifying core wounds. So what is this connected to?
Yep.
Why does this keep coming up over time? So, do you mind if I move to the next one?
No, go ahead.
All right. So, you also have to release blame. Holding on to resentment keeps you trapped. Shift focus to self healing. So, we get upset with those who maybe have outwardly been the representation of that particular wound that we've held over time. But really, we have to realize that they're just in, an outward expression of that pain that we felt,
Yep.
and we have to like go back. Why does this bother me? This person did this. Now, I mean, they may or may not be aware of that particular trauma that you've experienced as an individual, and as a emanation of the infinite all. But their action makes you aware of something that makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like at that time you have to be like, oh, why does this make me feel uncomfortable? If you're an aware person, like it's not, oh, they don't like me or whatever. No, most of the trauma that we experience from other people is not personal.
Right.
It's not personal. I'm doing this to get at you directly. No, they're dealing with something personally that they don't know how to process in a constructive way.
Right.
And so you catch the flack from it in that moment at that time.
Yep.
And that's been one of the biggest things for me as it pertains to like shadow work and healing personally. Realizing that even though I experienced the output of their lack of awareness or lack of ability to like sublimate or transmutate um, certain feelings that they were going through about certain things that they experienced in the past, that they're just remembering because they were triggered by certain things. Like consciousness is multi-layered. It's not black or white. Like one of the biggest things that I've learned is that everyone goes through their own things. They experience life in their own way. And
Mm-hmm.
they may have gotten certain levels of consciousness, you know, over time, but like they're not on the same level or in the same lane or whatever you want to call it. Um, but their consciousness is important, and you can help them like build on their consciousness by just being a different version. But like we all go through our own crap.
Right.
It is just important to give each other like that space to, hey, I get you. However, we're gonna, what I mean? Just like it's, it's a level of balances. You've been through this, and I'm going through this. So let's, because we're in the same space together, consciously, then we can talk about it and figure out some level of respect between the two of us and our, polarized consciousness at this
Yeah.
time. But anyway, man, interpersonal relationships are, man, exhausting.
Huh? Personal
I
relationships
said
are what?
interpersonal relationships, like like one of my jobs is to be around people of all ages, you know, conscious, constantly. And it's great to be around people because you are able to download their experiences in your mind. But however, they also kind of include you in their uh, the way of operating. I don't really know how to say that. Um, like they tell you their life stories and like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like almost like it's like when you worked at the. I can imagine when you worked at the mm, what's the term that they give like the final resting homes. What do you call it? Um,
The nursing homes.
yeah, right before people were about to pass.
Oh, hospice.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, just like my mind went blank. I saw H. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, like so you at that point, like you're taking in all the information that they've dealt with, and you're trying to give them hope, but you also realize where they are, and then you have your own thing. So it's just like a cluster of information coming into you, and so you want to always like give them affirmation, like you can do whatever you want to do, and really that's my biggest like my thing with those clients, uh, but also it's like I don't know what to do with your I don't know what to do with your personal information.
Yeah.
But we all have our issues, and I think a lot of them just want to be heard. I think that's the grandest spill of this all. They want to be heard. They want to know that someone cares about their suffering, uh, and also like be aware that suffering has a alternative. It's not just like you have to suffer all the time, and that's mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. There's layers to it. Um, yeah,
So we have to give people space to do what they need to do to get where they need to get, just like
right,
we need that too. Um,
right,
so and it's hard not to judge where somebody else is when we're taking things personal that they're doing or saying to us. But we have to, in order to heal, we have to get through that and we have to get past it so that we can acknowledge the fact, that so that's releasing the blame. So
yeah,
then we have to set boundaries and learn to protect ourselves emotionally and physically from toxic relationships. And what I
yeah,
shared earlier, um, that's what I was experiencing. I had already chosen to set my boundary to protect myself emotionally from the toxic relationship because or toxic relationships because it's more than one person.
yeah,
So, in setting those boundaries, like I said, I know that phone call was to change my mind, and
right. To
get,
convince you.
yeah. And so that I
Yeah,
uh, stop setting boundaries. But I have a choice in this too. And
yeah,
I don't choose what you want to give me, I choose this. So, going back to what I said, although I've created my boundary and set my boundary, I have to stick to it. I
yeah,
cannot change. If I change the boundary that I set, then I'm going to keep getting stuff from them because they see she's setting boundaries, but she can't stick to them. So don't worry about her. I can change her mind. No, the devil is a lie. So, and although this is new to me, very new to me, we've been talking about setting boundaries. We've been on air for 4 years in the next week or
man.
two. And so I've been learning to set boundaries and I had to learn how to stick to them. And so this is just something else that has come up to change the boundary that I set, but I
Yeah,
refuse. Um, and so what happens after this, I don't know. I know what my part is and what I need to do and how I need to end. And it's not necessarily that entire relationship, but it is that part of the relationship. And
right,
so I feel good about it. I just, seeing my real self, today after that, and what resurrected in me was you always run, you always avoid, confrontation. And so, what is that about? How did that? Where did that come from? What you gonna do about it? This is not a good thing. And
hmm,
so, um, anyway, it's tough, but we got to do it. So, you want to add anything to that before I go to the negative
yeah,
one?
definitely, definitely. Like so, like, and the peaceful thing is great, but when they persist, like you don't have to throw physical hands unless it's absolutely necessary. But it's important to be willing to or able to like fight, per step, everything that they try to program into you to make you lower than them, to control and manipulate you.
Yeah.
You have to fight for your own, you know, domination in your own life for sure. Like if no one else fights for you, you have to fight for you. But
Yeah.
don't do it in the way that you would like someone is below you. We are all on equal planes.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the dominating mindset that this culture has. Like we are all on the same plane. You
Yeah.
don't run me, I don't run you. We are on equal standings. Treat me as such,
Yep.
or get to the other side of me,
Yep.
because I will. Anyway, I'm not gonna say the rest. But it's important for us to understand that like we're all equal playing.
Yeah.
You know, you should not ever want to dominate someone. What does that say about you? You want to dominate someone else, it really comes off as you feel weak.
Yeah.
So you have to put someone under you to feel powerful. Really? Is that power? That's the ego.
Yeah.
The ego is the weakest thing about it. It's a tool though. You can use it. You can use it constructively as opposed to destructively. But we get in our minds and think because I have this amount of money or this, you know, people look at me this way, then I'm more powerful than anyone else. Why would I want to be more powerful? We all
Yeah.
have the same power. We all come from the same creator. So
Yeah.
why would I want to be over you?
Yeah.
Like I never understood that. It's always been puzzling. I am who I am. You don't run me, I don't run you. We on the same plane. Now
Yep.
let's make this world happen. Let's make this world happen. It's beautiful when we all realize that we are all powerful and we can all operate together. It's not a competition. Everything is not a competition. Everything is not a competition. Oh,
Oh, excuse me.
bless you.
Thank you. Um, I wanted to say something about I don't remember what I was going to say. Mark said, "Why do you want to rule all?" He was just talking about, commenting about what you were saying.
Hmm.
Um, oh, I wanted to say that I actually had a dream on Friday night,
Hmm.
and one of the things about dreams, and is that they warn you about things to come. Uh,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so that dream was warning
Precognition.
me, huh?
Precognition.
Yeah. So the
Knowing
dream was,
things before they happen. Yeah.
yep. So what happened in the dream is I was outside, and I was outside with the dog, and I had the dog's uh, collar. I was, anyway, I don't want to give too many details of the dream, but so a car was driving by, and it drove two houses down. And this was the house that I was raised in. So it drove two houses past me, and then the car stopped. And when the car stopped, a man got out of the passenger side and came uh, toward me. And so I ran in the house with the dog, and I ran to my bedroom. And when I got to the bedroom, the man came to the bedroom window, and it was just a small pane where he could stand up and look in. And so when he did that, I tapped the man that was laying in the bed next to me to wake him up. And when he woke up, he looked at the window and saw the man standing in the window pane, and he bent down and took his gun from the side of the bed and did
Hmm.
like this. And so the person in the window said, "I got a gun too." So he pulled out his gun, and then he shot off two rounds, but he shot him in the air. So after he shot him in the air, then the one that was in the bed next to me did like this and pointed at him. And
Hmm.
he was like, oh, and so he left. And so that was the dream. So with what I shared, I said I was scared. I didn't realize until like 20 minutes later, thinking about all of this stuff that happened and the anxiety that I was feeling. Well, that anxiety brought fear. And that fear is what I was experiencing in the dream. So it was
Hmm.
letting me know that something is getting ready to happen and it's going to manifest the fear that you've been feeling in life and something that you've been dealing with. Now it's time to uproot that and it's time to heal from that.
Hmm.
So hopefully that makes sense to y'all, whoever listened to this.
Yeah, I
Um,
got you.
so when it all came together today, after what happened, and and then of course I'm crying because I'm like, I don't want this giant you know to keep bothering me and to keep coming to me. I don't want to keep running from issues and from hurt and from pain. I want to be able to stand up to him and address him just like David stood up to Goliath. And
Right.
Goliath, like, you can't do nothing to me, you little. Well, okay, don't let the littleness fool you. So I want to be, I want to be like David and fight that giant. And so this what this lets me know is that this is getting ready to get better for me, because
Yeah.
now I'm going to put in some more work to deal with this particular issue so that
Right.
I don't run when things happen, but I stand tall. I address the issue and I stand up to the person, create the boundary. And no, this is the boundary. Either you respect it or get gone, or however that's going to be worded. But that I actually feel that in my heart and not, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that to them. I shouldn't have did that to them. Well, no, this needs to be done because I cannot run anymore. I have to stand tall to the issue once I set a boundary. So I can't, like in the last 4 years, is what I was saying earlier, run, keep running. It's, this has
Right.
been going on for years. And now that we're at this point in our show to talk about healing, this is me healing from my past. Um, and so you'll get to hear more about this in the future because I know there's more, not just what happened today. But I'm glad it happened, um, so that I can see more of me, who I really am, because I want to heal intentionally and purposefully. Um,
Right.
and that's how I want to keep going in life. I want to continuously heal, address issues, and heal. So you want to add something?
Nah, like yeah, and healing is very much intentional. Um, like, we're all going to go through things that like man, like push our boundaries, just to make sure that we are like 10 toes down in the
Hmm.
boundaries that we set.
Yep.
Like that's a huge thing. Um, like you, man, like so, yeah, it's very intentional that you have to be about the growth, the healing of your, dealing with what you've dealt with and moving to a higher point in it all. Because you can stay like stationary or stay stuck in a mindset that is no longer serving you,
Right.
just to hope to get, some kind of uh, progress. Or you can, you know, man, in hindsight, like look at situations like, okay, I tried this didn't work, you know. And at the end of the day, in order for me to be in a great space for me, and that's the big thing, creating space for yourself to be constantly growing. It's not about like doing the work for outward expression for people for people to acknowledge what they may see as your growth. It ain't about them. And about them. It's not about how other people may see your work. You don't ever have to see my work, but I can guarantee you that I'm constantly working to be a
Right.
better version of myself.
Yep.
And I don't have to prove that to you and anyone
Yeah.
else. And that's the state of mind that we have to be in. Like I'm growing for me. It
Yeah.
ain't about you. You
Yep.
can see it or not see it. I really don't care. It's not
Yeah.
about me being a butthole or, like I don't care about people. I genuinely and definitively and uh, authentically care about people. However, I do realize that I cannot base my how I see my progress personally off of how other people may or may not see my progress.
Yeah.
You can acknowledge it or not. It don't matter to me. I know that I have personally. I'm in a new space for me,
Yep.
and that's what we have to get. We have to get to the space where it's not about like other people acknowledging your pain or your
Yeah.
progress or you doing it for other people. It has to be for you
Yeah.
exclusively.
Absolutely.
None of this work matters unless it's for you and you alone.
Yep.
It don't matter. People will see it, they may or may not. Like that's the deal. Like we talking about losing weight. If people don't see you've lost weight. You could be in the journey for 4 years and no one sees it, but you're gonna stop on the journey because no one acknowledges the progress that you made. But you have put in the work constantly, consistently to do the work. It ain't about what other people see. It's
Yep.
about you doing the work, taking that one step, even if it's half a step every freaking day to be a better version of yourself. And it's going to be ugly sometimes.
Yep.
It's going to be ugly sometimes. And you still have to take that step and be like, you know what? Regardless if anyone else saw that, I saw that.
Yep.
I saw that. I did my work today. That's the biggest thing for me as of late. Like, just doing the GD work.
Like you said, you giving your like you constantly told me lately, give yourself some grace. And then what you
Yeah.
shared, that's what you are doing. Is give I'm giving myself some grace. I know what
Yes.
I see what I'm
Yep.
doing, whether you see it or not. I'm giving my own self some grace.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Because it don't matter if other people realize that the work that you are actually doing. Like, can no one film? I mean, you could, but like that's excessive. Come on now. We're filming every moment and every minute of our lives to to prove something to someone else. No, my progress is not about you. It ain't
Right.
about you. It's about me. I
Yep.
see me and the work I'm doing every single day to be better.
Yep.
It won't be pretty. There are some times that I do man, this personal work stuff is not pretty.
Yeah.
You can't think that like and I think another thing is people want to be famous. And it's not the right path. Like the goal is to be genuinely yourself.
Yep.
Genuinely yourself. And about what other people see. Who cares what they see?
Right.
You can do a million things and they never see it. Does that make you less than?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. You've done your work.
Yep.
Just because they don't see it don't make you less than a person
Mm-hmm.
or an emanation of the creator. You are an emanation of the creator regardless if anyone else acknowledges who you are.
Mhm.
Stop looking outwardly. Stop looking outwardly for affirmation of who you are.
Yep.
You are an emanation of the Creator, the infinite all at all times. Live in that space.
Yep.
Every second, every breath that you take, every freaking day, live it. It's going to be ugly sometimes. It's going to be ugly sometimes. Those are the times that you dig your toes in. 10 toes down. This is who I am. I am an infinite version of the infinite all. I am a version, and we are all. No one is above me, and I'm not above anyone else. We are all on the same plane. It's not a competition. Stop competing for space.
Yep.
You are all version of the all.
Yep. And so, what you want to add, Mark? So, it's almost time for the show to be over. So, I want to add this, and we
Yeah.
have more to share on healing. But the next piece is that I want to leave you with today is to reframe negative beliefs, challenge thoughts that stem from past hurt, and replace them with
Mhm.
empowering truths. And that's
Say
part of what I
that
had
right
to do today.
there. Yes,
I had
that is
to
a perfect thing.
challenge the thought that stemmed from the past hurt, and then I had to
Mhm.
replace it with the empowering truth that
Yeah,
I don't have to run. I don't have to
yeah.
change what I believe or what I think or what I said. I don't have to change my boundary. What you got to say, Mark?
No, I'm back, and this time I did have a question. I don't know if y'all saw that earlier and everything, but you were talking about finding your own weaknesses, and that can be part of the healing process, and all along those lines. And we can talk about it on a future episode. But one of the things, and I think Gene will be able to identify when I talk about this, that I had to come to terms with, is that there was a time in my life that I used to love. Attracting what I call broken butterflies, meaning that they are women that have got
Hmm.
issues and all along those lines, and they've been through problems, and it's that kind of fixer mentality,
Right.
and all along those lines, where I would think that I would attract them and be able to deal with some of their brokenness, and all along those lines. And sometimes you got to deal with your
Right.
own issues before you can even deal with those broken butterflies. And nothing wrong with broken butterflies. We're all broken to some sense, whether you're a man or a
Right.
woman. But it did took me a while to realize that there was hurt individuals that I was sometimes finding myself catering to, and I knew a part of that was that fixer mentality, and all along those lines. So I didn't know if either you or Gene had some thoughts, because as y'all were talking about the healing process, and I just recently came up with this
Sure.
term. Like I said, maybe I'll write a book called Broken Butterflies, and it'll be a big hit, because I don't know that anybody has used that term, but I'm sure they have. But I just kind of came up with the term just because I like birds and butterflies. And I was like, yeah, they are kind of broken. Their wings are kind of clipped, and then you're sitting there trying to repair the wings. But I know we're winding down, but I didn't know if y'all had any thoughts about the broken butterfly syndrome.
Yeah, for sure. So generally speaking, especially for me, I'm also a nature lover. Like I love to walk barefoot in nature on the ground and stuff like that. Um, but generally speaking, like the broken bird, the broken butterfly is an emanation of ourselves.
Mhm.
Where we've dealt with things, you know, that we're not comfortable with, and we want to, like, we outwardly project those things onto, like, birds, like you said, or whatever. Um, just things like it's a part of us, ourselves, outwardly projecting our desire to be healed, and we displace that onto animals, and things like that. So uh, I think this actually very natural, and we also do
Right.
that in our romantic relationships. We
Hmm.
we see something within someone, we see a beautiful aspect of them, and we want to help them like manifest that. outwardly.
Right.
However, like it's ultimately upon that person to manifest that. Like you can so we're talking about, like, so let's go back to like animals. Like, for instance, I don't know if you remember this, Mom. I was like, I don't know, was I like 10 or so? I found a bird that that fell out of a nest in Justin. I don't know if you even remember him.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the naval base, he had the bird had a nest in the baby, like, hatched, but she fell out of the nest. So I picked her up and I actually literally, like, patched her wing with, like, it was like a popsicle stick and some tape. Like, I literally did that.
I
But,
didn't do that.
like, yeah, so I patched that wing, and it was like, you know, so going back to what Mark said, it was like, we have to realize that, like, not only, like, is that our thing, like, damage, but it's ultimately a reflection of ourselves, you know, that
Yeah.
we have to, like, come to terms with. Like, we are all in one way or another broken,
Right.
and it's like a grand, a million piece puzzle that we have to come to terms with and figure out where each space goes, you know. And the ultimate goal is, like, to real first off acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the brokenness, and then, like, realize, okay, I'm broken, and now we have to figure out where this piece goes. This didn't go there before, so it's different. And man,
Yeah.
once
Yeah, we'll have
we
to get.
get back to that,
Yeah, we'll have to get
yeah,
to that. I know we're at the top of the hour and everything, but yeah, that's why I had popped in and everything along those lines. But yeah, this sounds like this is going to be a deep series and all along those lines. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about was those broken butterflies.
yeah, yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah. And so in choosing, I want to add to that real quick. In choosing broken butterflies, Gene said it within what he was saying is, we're broken and we're seeking healing. And so we feel like, that person might be able to help us heal, and that's our expectation by bringing them into our space, that they
Right.
can help us heal, from where we're broken. And so you just draw what you actually need. You actually draw that to yourself. So attract that to you.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
that happens too. So thanks, Mark, for your question. Thanks,
No
Jean, for
problem.
the show. And thank you, everybody, for joining the show. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and reach out to us. And we'd love to help you. We're healing and we're sharing healing with you so that you can heal too. Nobody wants to stay in a place of brokenness. So we send you love.
amen to that.
Take care. Bye for now. See you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching us from.
All right. Sounds good.
Is it still rolling?
It's still rolling. I had a call come in, so we got to end it right about now. I did see the 10 seconds, but hold on 1 second and we'll be officially ended. So hold on.
Man, yeah, this is a great show.